Pahlavi texts, translated by E.W. West, Part 3, Dinai Mainogi Khirad, Clarendon, Oxford University Press, Chapter 8. The sage asked the spirit of wisdom thus: How, in what manner has Ahura created these creatures and creation? And how and in what manner were the archangels and the spirit of wisdom formed and created by him? And how are the demons and fiends, and also the remaining corrupted ones? K43 omits and also the remaining corrupted ones, as well as verse 5. How do every good and evil happen, which occur to mankind, and also the remaining creatures? But these passages are supplied from L19, merely substituting Yahidakan, corrupted ones, as in verse 10, for the Vasudhaga, miscreations, of L19. Of Ahriman, the wicked, miscreated, how do every good and evil happen, which occur to mankind, also the remaining creatures? And is it possible to alter anything which is destined or not? The spirit of wisdom answered thus: The creator, Ahura, produced these creatures in creation, the archangels and the spirit of wisdom, from that which is his own splendor, and with the blessing of unlimited time, Zoroastrianism. For this reason, because unlimited time is undecaying and immortal, painless and hungerless, thirstless and undisturbed, and forever and everlasting, no one is able to seize upon it, or to make it non-predominant as regarding his own affairs. And Ahriman, the wicked, miscreated, the demons and fiends, and also the remaining corrupted ones. Reading Yahidakan, but it may be Yatukan, wizards, though the word requires an additional long vowel to represent either term correctly. L19 has Vasudhaga, miscreations, by his own unnatural intercourse. A treaty of 9,000 winters in unlimited time, Daman, was also made by him with Ahura, and until it has become fully completed, no one is able to alter it and to act otherwise. And when the 9,000 years have become completed, Ahriman is quite impotent. Back in verse 11, 9,000 winters, time consists of 12,000 years, see Bundahis 34, 1, which is only less limited than the biblical idea in terms of years. Because what is it, year 5,000 something in their idea, way of thinking? In the beginning, it's 34:1. Ahura created the spiritual prototypes, Bundahis 1:8, who remain undisturbed for the first 3,000 years when Ahriman appeared and agreed to a conflict for the remaining 9,000 years, see Bundahis 1:18, during the first 3 of which Ahura's will was undisputed, while during the next 3, Ahriman is active in interference. And during the last 3, his influence will diminish, until, in the end, it will disappear. See Bundahis 1:20. The 9,000 years of the conflict were supposed to extend from BCE 5400 to 3600 of the Common Era. See Bachman Yast, chapter 3, verse 11 and 44. And Srosh, see chapter 2, 115. The righteous will smite Asham. See chapter 2, verse 118. And Mitro, probably the angel Rashnu, chapter 2, 118, 119. And unlimited time and a spirit of justice, assuming that Vago Bhakto of K43 is equivalent to the Vago Bhakt divine appointment of L19. Who deceives no one in anything, and destiny and divine providence, the Avestan Azeh of Yasna 1746, 6722, Vendadad 1845 and 50, Astad Yasna 1, Astad Yast 1, Azu of Yasna 52:7, and the demon of greediness, as in chapter 2, verse 13 and 14, 18, verse 5, and so on. Bundahis 28:27, and the modern Persian, who seems to be being distinct from the Avestan Azeh serpent, will smite the creatures and creation of the Harmon of every kind, and in the end, even Azo, L19 has evil, the demon, and every creature and creation of A'u-Harmazd becomes again as undisturbed as those which were produced and created by him in the beginning. Every good and the reverse, the zodiacal signs, which happened to mankind, and also the other creatures, happened through the 7 planets and the 12 constellations. Well, you can point out when things happen, or happened if you know the charts at the time. But predicting things happening, L19 are called in Revelation. The authority here quoted was not the Bundahes, because that book speaks of 7 chieftains of the constellations opposed to the 7 planets. See Bundahes 5:1. Well, there's generally this idea that there's a match of good or an angel to every demon or bad, and then there's something beyond that for the these 12 constellations are such a revelation are L19 emits and 7 planets, but has a blank space at this place in both texts in Pazan and Sanskrit. So is the blank the 12 chieftains who are on the side of A'u-Harmazd, or is the blank and those 12 constellations are such as in Revelation are? For verse 18. And those 7 planets are called the 7 chieftains who are on the side of the Harmon. Those 7 planets pervert every creature and creation, and deliver them up to death and every evil. And, as it were, those 12 constellations and 7 planets, K43 omits the words in brackets, which may perhaps be superfluous in the Pahlavi text, and I don't see words in brackets here, are organizing and managing the world. A'u-Harmazd is wishing good and never approves, nor contemplates evil. Because remember, evil is something that either the Davas, not the same as Devas in Sanskrit, or the humans choose. A Harman is wishing evil and does not meditate nor approve anything good, whatever. A Uharmazd, when he wishes it, is able to alter as regards the creatures of a Harman, and a Harman too, it is who, when he wishes, the Avestan Yima are. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Sounds like the brackets that we talked about in the last note. He wishes. It can do so as regards the creatures of a Harman. Okay, so this reference to the Avestan. Oh, okay, that's in the next one. Okay. Can do so as regards the creatures of Uharmazd, but he is only able to alter so that in the final effect there may be no injury of Uharmazd, because the final victory is Uharmazd's own. For it is declared that Yim, the Avestan Yima, are Yima Shah Etta of Vendadad II, the Jamshed of the Shahnama, some of whose deeds are mentioned in chapters 27, verses 24 to 33, Yasna 9, 13 to 20. He was the third of the Pesdad dynasty, and it is said to have been perverted by a Harman in his old age when he lost the royal glory. See that as Steni Danik 39, verse 16 to 17, and was overthrown by the foreign dynasty of Azi Dahak. And Fredun, the Avestan Thra-e-Taona, who conquered Azidahak. See chapter 27, verse 38 to 40, Yasna 9, 24 to 27. He was misled by a Harman unto the dividing of his empire between his three sons, two of whom revolted and slew the third. See chapter 21, 25, and 27, 42. And Ka'ius, the Avestan Kava Usan, or Kava Usavan, the Ka'i Kavus of the Shahnama, misread Kahos in Pazand. He was the second monarch of the Kayan dynasty and made an unsuccessful attempt to reach heaven, mentioned in Bundahis 34, verse 7, to which he may be supposed to have been instigated by a Harman, but he was also unfortunate in many other enterprises. Of Uharmazd are created immortal, and a Harman so altered them as is known, and a Harman so contemplated that Bevarasp, a title of Azidahak in the Shahnama, literally with a myriad horses. This king or dynasty is said to have conquered Yim and reigned for 1,000 years, but was overthrown by Fredun in the Avesta, Yasna 9:25, Abanyas 34, Af Sarat 3. Azidahak, the destructive serpent, is described as Hazan Graya Uxte with 1,000 perceptions, a term analogous to Ba'evare Spasana with a myriad glances, which is usually applied to Mithra, the angel of the sun. From this latter, if used for the former, the Vrasp might easily be corrupted. And Frasiak, the Avestan Frangrasian, the Afrasiab of the Shahnama, a Turanian king who conquered the Iranians for 12 years during the reign of Manoskihar, Sibund Hiss 34, verse 6, and Alexander the Great, should be immortal. But Uharmaz for the great advantage so altered them as that which is declared. Arasangar is how Naryosang rendered Alexander.